Here's the bounce down by umpire Papazoglov. Hit away there by Mallee Park. Knocked on again, and a bit of dash by this player. Sambo it is, who kicks down to centre half forward. No one able to mark. A good approach to the ball and a good handball out wide by Mallee Park again. Let's see who can get possession here. No, and a free kick paid to Mallee Park. This is could bring up their first score of the game. Looks like Malcolm Bilney to have a shot. He's only about 25 metres out and pretty well straight in front, so he should convert this one for the first score in this grand final. No, hasn't allowed for the breeze at all, and you saw that one drifting right across, and 1 point only to Mallee Park, the first score, and a bit of a scrambly start, Doug.
It's a big game, and it'll be quite interesting. Dalrick kicks off towards Visic, who failed to pull that one down, and it's a little bit scrambly there, and I think the big fella, Stevie Visic, the Yugoslav, has got the ball, and he's picked it up and pushed a wobbly old screwy punt, but the Mallee Park player's out in front of Mulgan McLaughlin, and a short kick over to number 35, and coming through, Jeff Neighbour picks up, aims for Fletch, but the Mallee Park boy, Dudley, has read it quite well and kicked it back into the forward line. Heinzie Burgoyne picks the ball up, but he's pinned for some infringement. And Jeff Neighbour for his second kick. Oh, well, that's an under 10 kick. Under 10 kick over towards Lenny O'Gorman, who's made his first mistake for the whole year, and he's pulled him off the ball, and it's a free kick to the Mallee Park player, 48. Well, there's mistakes galore here. The Greek, it's all over the Greek, the Golden Greek, John Uparthenis with a characteristic hook, but, well, bad kicking. It gets back to, if you've got the ball, have a look where you're going to kick the ball and aim it somewhere. Well, there's another free kick. That's the fifth free kick in perhaps 3 or 4 minutes of football, and it's gone to, well, he looks like number Tommy Miller, I think, or Terry Miller or Tony Miller, I'm not too sure, but he's going to have a shot from about 50 metres out, and he's put it high in the air, and there's nobody home but Doldick. He's read the ball quite well, and I can guarantee you now that he'll have 25 kicks for the game. His kick out towards Lethal Lee Clark on the back flank. Boy, geez, long way down from centre, so somebody's not doing their job, but his kick to the wing, picked up and handballed over to Visic, who is, he attempted to trip that player, but failed. Still following the ball through. Good football there by Visic. Over to 37 of Mallee Park to Cartoneri. 31, over to 41. It looks like Jimmy Cracker out there. We're not too sure about that, but his kick, John Uparthenis, the Golden Greek. This is his second kick for the quarter on that half-back flank, and I was quite impressed by this lad in the previous semi-final when he held him out time and time again. Bates, the Kangaroo Island boy, over to Lenny O'Gorman, who has the run of it, the little champ, and he's pushed in the back. Well, that's a characteristic Woodville free kick there. He's got the ball on the half-forward flank, and he's going to follow through, kicking with the wind.
Bit of a Doug Glass performance there, I thought, falling over the ball at the right time, but anyhow, he's kicked the ball forward, and Spackman it is at through centre half forward position for South, and but a fair way out, and he'll have to kick it well to score here, I think. Looks quite well off the boot though, however, and it's cleared the pack. There's the first goal of the match to Lincoln South, and perhaps there's a bit of an omen there. So South's 1 goal, lead Mallee Park 1 point. Doug, a few injuries in the South lineup during the week. Coach Vivian, I believe, has badly done an ankle, and he's on crutches and obviously not playing today. Well, Yabby as well is another one.
Unfortunately, it just happens, and it happens every year. Somebody gets injured in those last few weeks. Here's Parthenis again.
Yes, fighting well, Parthenis at half-back, but over the boundary line and throw in. Here's a chance for the Ricci ruckman. Visic have big height advantage here. Let's see what he can do. Equal knockout, knocked forward there. Visic again in well, soccers the ball, no result. Out wide there to Heinz Burgoyne. There's Mallee Park running free now with Miller kicking the ball forward. The Breeze taking it again noticeably. There's a chance for the back pocket player, but paddled out over the line, and good defence there by Lincoln South. Anyway, Doug, pleasing to see this telecast will be reaching some, far and wide, Well, I believe it's going to New York, Paris, London,
Philadelphia and down to Little Douglas, so it's going to be viewed all over the world. So keep your eye with us and we'll bring you up to date and we'll make it a very interesting commentary. Well, there's a free kick to David Nash, and he was pushed in the back, there's no doubt there. He was pushed and he's going to, he's about 60 metres out, and we all know that David can kick.
A bit out of condition,
Well, he always did. He always looked a bit thin. But David's going to have a shot. He's kicked it long, and it's straight too, and well, that kick went all of 60 metres, Peter, there's no doubt about that, and it's right through the middle.
Nothing wrong with the condition on the kick anyway, Doug, and first goal to Mallee Park, and they take the lead again. One goal's won, 7 behinds to Lincoln South, 1 straight goal, 6. Weather conditions holding up all right, Doug. A bit of sunshine at the moment, a few scuds of clouds and occasional shower, but reasonably stiff cross breeze. There's Visic, had that one all to himself and thumped it to centre half forward, but Mallee Park coming away from their half back line again with ease. Richards from the wing kicks to half forward. Miller ahead of Parthenis. Parthenis puts the pressure on, but there's the kick into the goal square, definite push in the back. And it looks like Dave Sampson, the cricketer and state banker, able to kick away from the goal square to relieve for Lincoln South.
Well, he's aiming for the correct side, out there to the dead wing, and up goes Nash and another Mallee Park player, and it's a funny little bit of play, and it's picked up by the Flying Dutchman Reinhard Veldhuizen, and look how he tears through the pack, and that ball's gone 120 metres over the top to Thorpe. Oh, he nearly paid that mark. He had the whistle up, but Smith picks the ball up, a little short handball over to Thorpe again. It was pulled off the ball, yes, too high. That was quite obvious, and that's in front of the camera. His shot from 30 metres out could put another score on the board.
Yes, we're very unlucky not to get the first free kick, so there wasn't a lot in the second one, but I think it was a case of 3 quarters and a half adds up to more than one, so he's got the free kick in the end anyway. And a little bit of a wobbly left-legger, but that's through the middle. The goal umpire's happy, and South's noticeably taking a lead in this game early, Doug, and do you think that their approach on the ball is perhaps leaving Mallee Park a little bit bewildered at this stage?
Well, I think so, Peter. I was quite impressed there by the Flying Dutchman back there, Reinhard Veldhuizen, the boy that came from Perth, the ex-Navy boy, and he took the ball from the half-back flank, ran through the centre and kicked a quite sensible drop punt ball, which was in the air. Thorpe came out, missed the mark but fumbled, but he was paid the free, and I think the Flying Dutchman, Reinhard, is the boy that started that goal. Back at the centre, Visic again. Well, he's been on the ball all this quarter. He's capitalised. Over to Bates, and Lenny O'Gorman, the versatile footballer, number 23. You can see it in your screen. He's been paid the free kick. He was punched too high. Little short kick over to Mulga McLaughlin. Might have paid that one, and he threw that one for sure. 37 of Mallee Park picks the ball up and hooks it around his body. That was Cartoneri. Over to Ronnie Nash, who put the head down, and he was still sleeping. Jimmy Papazov, the local umpire in charge, about to bounce the ball on the 40 metres out from the south goal on the eastern side. Kenny taps over his shoulder, out to Robbie Johns. Well, I can tell you a couple of stories about Robbie Johns later on, but he's been pinged for holding the ball, failure to do something with it. You have to hit it out. Betts for Mallee Park release. Ooh, Lee Clark up and down like a yo-yo. The Mallee Park boy. Left leg, cross wing. Yes, the little boy. He spotted him out in front. He's run around him. Jono's going to chase him. Hooked up. Miller's kicked that out onto the flank, up in front of the booth. Jeff Naver missed the run of the ball, and that little lad there could have been paid a free kick there. Clawson, the ex-Tasman boy, and the ball is out of bounds in front of the grandstand. Visic is still on the ball, Peter. He's dominating the ruck at this moment.
Yes, well, a few names like Visic and Papazoglov and Parthenis involved, you just about think they'd need a net behind the goal, Doug.
Well, especially in Veldhuizen, the boy in the back flank there. It's great to see these lads playing football, and Thorpe plays a bit of soccer down there too. He's not very good at it, but the ball is now in the forward pocket of South, and Kenny, the tall boy, streaky bay boy. he should be able to reach this, and I feel Mallee Park are going to be in a bit of trouble in the air, because they're fallen over. Well, there's no doubt about it. He'll create a bit of atmosphere out there, and he's a finalist, boy. This fella knows what it's all about. He's played quite a few games of football.
You'd get a bit of sympathy from you, Doug, falling over all the time. That, you know, seems to be a bit of a winning style.
I never fell over. I was always pushed.
Here's the kick by the medal winner, and there's nothing wrong with that kick. Applause from the South players in the goal square. The goal umpire's impressed as well. And a pretty handy lead. 3 straight goals, straight kicking there by Lincoln South, and 1 goal, 1 to Mallee Park. What are your thoughts, Doug, at this stage?
Well, I think South have started extremely well off. I noticed in the clubrooms that the atmosphere was electrifying. You could hear that sound of music, and the boys were really built up. The adrenaline and the blood was just about running out of their body, and they've started the quarter off well. 3 goals to 1 goal 1, but they're kicking with a slight breeze. Visic again, but misread by our South boys. Picked up by Bates, the KI boy. Over to that little fella again, Lenny O'Gorman, but it's... No, well, that's understandable. He's 46, and you just can't keep running as fast as these young fellas. But great credit to Lenny. That now he'll probably play for another 10 years, I reckon, Peter.
Especially the way Woodville are going at the moment, Doug. Anyway, there's one for the Ricci types. Kenny taps it down, but looks like Williams there, was it? Unable to get possession. Clausen it was for South. But here's a free kick to Cartanieri for Mallee Park. Kicks up to the centre wing. Visic's got this all to himself, but leaves it a bit of shepherding there, but umpire's given them the benefit of the doubt, and Lee Clark to drive South in again. Here's O'Gorman, and only one reading the flight of the ball, and noticed he went to ground again, Doug, you know, but still took the mark and should convert from here.
Well, you can see why he's a medal winner, because he just touches the ball so much. Lenny has already had 7 touches, and kicked 1 goal 1. Now, this lad has come back from an injury which nearly looked like putting him out for the rest of the year. 5 broken ribs. This was about 6 weeks ago, and it takes great courage to come back and front up in a grand final. But Lenny knows what they're all about. He's good, Lenny. There's no doubt about that. The ball kicked out towards Kobe, number 31 for Mallee Park, and great smother by Kenny, and the boy from Streaky Bay or Rovers or Elliston, wherever he comes from. He's playing quite well there. Up along the back flank, and the Mallee Park boy has it, 37. Cartanieri handballed out of bounds on the full, and with the wind sort of favouring South, I think they're going to another couple of goals, and they'll build up a little bit of lead here. The ball thrown in again. Kenny missed the tap then, but Mallee Park boy got it, and I think South have already set up a bit of height difference in this forward line, and they have to kick the ball in high to these boys and let them have a chance to grab. Heinz Burgoyne running around, good handball, but went astray. The Mallee Park Sambo tapped it on to 40. Oh, that was a good tackle, but no, that was not holding the ball. Well done. Another little handball, a short kick up to number 24, Jimmy Cracker, but that wasn't Jimmy Cracker, it's Tommy Miller, and it's tumbled through for a point. Well, Mallee Park, their greatest asset is their quickness, and if they keep this little quick running short game of kicking the ball, and they may get on top, but I feel that South are playing quite well. Doldick, oh, he'll get 50 kicks back there without a doubt. His long drop kick out to the wing, out towards Visic. That's the way to kick it, up to the big fellas. Kobe with a handball over to somebody, and it's McLaughlin. McLaughlin's great little kick on the wing. He saw the Dutchman up there. Reinhardt's picked it up. The bad handball to the Mallee Park players picked it up, but Smithy, the electrifying boy. Ah, beautiful pass. You wouldn't see any better than that unless you went back to 1964, Peter.
Well, there weren't many passes that day, Doug. I remember it well. It was a very wet day, and we had to use a white football. It was that dark. But anyhow, play goes on. Definitely in the back to the South player. And here's the medal winner. And almost handballed then, Doug. Did you see that? But no.
You can understand why he wins medals, because he's always in the limelight. He handles the ball well, never handballs. So who's the umpire going to look at? The player with the ball.
Here's Fletcher with the opportunity to land this one in the goal square. Let's see what he does. Doesn't quite get hold of it, and Thorpe coming from behind takes the Mallee Park player out. Here's a good handball out to the side. And the quick snap, unfortunately, by Spackman registers one Bates it was, sorry, and registers one behind only.
Spackman with the handball there. He's a clever footballer, this Spackman. I noticed a fortnight ago that he came on from the interchange bench and was involved in 6 or 7 goals, kicking a couple of himself and handing a couple out. And that was a good handball over there to Bates, who usually is a very reliable kick, and he can even kick them straight at training. But the fullback from Mallee Park kicked out, and it's marked on the back flank by Mallee Park. No, I don't think Archie's playing, is he? Actually, I must have a little talk about Archie, because we ran into him one night when we were manoeuvring down the Boston, Peter, and Archie told us a couple of stories about his football, and we'll relate back to that later on. But the ball up on the wing, about to be bounced by the umpire, Jimmy Papazov. Another Greek. Crikey, there's a lot of foreign people involved with our greatest game. Visic, well, smothered, tapped up. Fletcher's second kick for the game. Oh, across to Lenny O'Gorman again, but he was in front, but he's on the ground. Over to Spackman. Spackman with a good handball to Bates. A running shot, a short kick. Well, there's no doubt about that, Peter. That was set up by Spackman. He's a clever footballer, and Mallee Park are going to have problems. They're already in trouble. Thorpe, 35 to 40 metres out, on the correct angle, the left leg. Follow the ball. He's kicked it. No. 1 point result. South now leading 3-3 to 1-2.
Yes, well, that quick kick looked pretty good off the boot, Doug, but perhaps a bit of a lull on the breeze, and it didn't quite straighten it up. But you know, here's the kick out by the Mallee Park fullback, and O'Gorman in front, and must be paid that mark, even though the Mallee Park player probably had a stronger grip on the ball. It must be the man in front, and he goes to the top side, and looks like Bates has got this one, Doug, uncontested. Well,
I know 15 metre there, Peter. That was just a classic running in. That's not on.
Bit of a Salisbury job, was it, Doug? Or?
Well, yes.
Well, I don't know, Doug. I've played a lot of football, as you have yourself. But if that wasn't 15 metres, I'll jump off the town jetty
with the Superman cape on. Bates, 46, right in front of your screen. He kicks them straight and hits straight again. Gee, this is an impressive start by the Lincoln South Football Club. 4-3 to 1-2, and well, that was set up by that medalist Lenny O'Gorman, and what a fantastic last 4, 5, 6, 7 years he has played of football in Port Lincoln, and he's right back in the thick of things. He loves these games, and I wonder, Peter, how good was Lenny O'Gorman when he was 18 to 20? And I believe he had a run with Woodville, didn't quite make it, couldn't get on with the discipline there, and he must have been a fantastic footballer at 18 to 20.
Well, if he came out of the Woodville area, Doug, he'd have to be pretty handy. There's no question about that. Anyway, back at the business end of proceedings, Papazoglov bounces the ball. Visic the tap again, but here's Malcolm Bilney is the recipient of a free kick right in the centre of the ground. Now, Mallee Park would be looking to create something here. They've been very lacklustre at this stage. Here's the kick up to the front end of the square, a bit of jostling going on. Neighbour spills the mark. Here's David Nash, but he's gone to ground, not quite athletic enough to get around. And
yes, that's on, Peter. He threw up his elbow and pushed that medalist boy again.
But, of course, O'Gorman would have gone to ground again. But anyhow, here's a good kick out to the wing to Bates. He's prominent early, obviously can play the game, Doug. And Fletcher, who's obviously a very strong lad, he's making his presence felt at half forward. Here's Thorpe, beautiful body work, but unable to complete the mark in the finish. The Mallee Park fullback there struggling on the ground, and good defence by that player. And Rigney it was, not Roger, is it, Doug? No. Anyway, anyway, a ball up again, and let's see if South can do something with this ball down. Here's Kenny with the opportunity. Knockout by Mallee Park. Smith, a quick snap by the left, and that was a Stephen Nichols. Oh no, unfortunately it's been touched off the boot, but good effort there by Smith, and another point to Lincoln South.
Clever tap by Kenny there over to the very elusive Greg Smith, who popped it onto his left leg. Unfortunately it was touched, and the point resulted. The kick out to number 41, Wally Miller. Wally Miller with the ball. He's running. Yes, he has run around his player, and he's kicked across goals. Over to the Steve Visic, who's missed. Oh wow, that was a Maradona kick for sure. Maradona kick, yes. Actually, that was quite clever thinking because he wouldn't have had time to pick that ball up, and that ball's gone 50 metres into the south area.
Well, last Sunday, Doug, Woodville scored 2 sensational soccer goals that really broke Norwood's heart in that first quarter, and oh gee, that one didn't score a goal, but very handy all the same.
Yes, and that's quick thinking. Mulga McLaughlin, a good handball out there by Bates across to McLaughlin, who has one of the characteristics left leg, and it's another point to South, making the score 4 goal, and the boy hasn't put it up yet, but 4 goals something to 1 goal 2. It's 4 goal, he still can't pick it up. 4 goal 5. So that's 9 shots in the first quarter, Peter, to 3, and that's an electrifying start here. Cartinery on the back flank for South, for Mallee Park, kicks the ball across goals to Dudley, who was spoilt by Spackman, and a free kick paid, and it's play on to Ronnie Nash. Ronnie Nash up to the centre. A mark missed by one of the Mallee Park players, and it comes out, and there's another soccer off the ground by a ex-Beldhausen, across to Lenny O'Gong, who was pinned for holding the ball. Well, I suppose he had possession of it, but that's not holding the ball. It never used to be, Peter, and I can't go along with some of these rules. They've changed too much. A quick handball into the centre across to Heinzie Burgoyne, who aims for Malcolm Bilney. Up goes Jono Parthanis, drops to the ground. Another quick handball over to 44, running on his own. A short kick. He didn't read that play too well because he either should have shot for goal or kicked towards the Mallee Park player.
Well, this seems pretty uncharacteristic of Mallee Park in the forward lines. They seem very disorganised, and some wild kicking, and you normally see them dashing out in the open spaces, hitting each other on the chest, and it's just not working for Mallee Park at the moment.
Well, that's for sure. The short game's not coming off. Fletcher tackles that player back there, and it's Cartinery who pushes the ball out of bounds on the outer side of the oval. Oh, I'm quite impressed by this start, Peter. 4 goal 5 to 1 goal 3. So South are right in this game. The ball comes out to, it could be Burgoyne. His missed kick, well, look, they're just not looking, and that's the secret of football. If you've got the ball, have a look to see where you're going to kick it. Neighbour with a 70-metre drop punt, and it's marked in the back line by Kobe. Kobe's kick up to the centre line, marked by number 35. He breaks the tackle and runs away. Kicked out towards Tex Scollery. Why didn't you mark it, Tex? Miller versus Parthanis. Oh, and he's pinged for holding the man, Jono, and he's lucky not to give 15 metres there, Peter.
Yeah, professional free kick there because he held the player up, Doug.
Oh, that was a good tackle by Robbie Johns. By crikey, doesn't he look like Royce Hart as he picks the ball up, runs away, plays on, across to Spackman. Spackman has a look, runs through the half-forward line. That's a good kick, Peter. Up to Thorpe and Visic. Where are they? And it's, oh, well, he aimed for that goal for sure. There's no doubt about that. That's a goal on the board to Spackman, and he has set the pace here. He's electrifying. He's already kicked 2 goals, holding his backboard, but he aimed for that goal. There is no doubt about that, and it bounced through.
Well, I don't know about aiming for the goal, Doug. He was an awful long way out then. Must have been 70 metres, and the ball's... Ashley Mallett would have been proud of that off-break, and it's eluded all players and through for a goal. Now, everything going right for Lincoln South at the moment. 5 goals 5 to Mallee Park, 1 goal 3.
Oh, this is an impressive start. 5 goal 5 to 1 goal 3, and by gee, I think South are right in this game. Tapped by Kenny down to McLaughlin. McLaughlin across to Spackman, but he misread that. Dudley flicked it over. Visic, he's already been in the play. A handball to Bates, and Bates has popped it up in the air. Rowinder's taken that ball, and it's another goal. Well, you can't get better than this, Peter. This is as good as Woodville can start. 6 goal 5 to 1 goal 3. And that was a great tap there from the centre bounce, and McLaughlin picked that up, and you can see it. You can watch it on the replay tomorrow. We'll be there, and a great goal there. Mallee Park have already pulled a swift move here. Ronnie Nash is coming off, and he's been a solid player for Mallee Park. South are on top, and I look around now, just out there in front of us, and I can see 2 players, Yabby Wakefield, Fitters Vivian, who would love to be out there today, and I'd say, just speaking quietly, that Yabby Wakefield would have the sharpest elbows in Lincoln. He'd love to be out there today chasing around, and I was talking to his wife Sonia the other day, and she said his elbows are terrible. When he gets to bed, if he rolls over, he tears her 90 to pieces, and it's just unbelievable. Fitters Vivian, former Boston player, he's there, and he's done a remarkable job with South this year. They've come from second to bottom, up to top, and he's got the job. He'll have the job for 2 or 3 years if he wants it. He's not there today, but he'd love to be out there too.
Well, Doug, there's a lot of pressure coaching this side from the boundary line as well. I can remember, I think it was back in 76 when we were both heavily involved, and everything's, you know, we thought we had that one sewn up at 3/4 time. We were kicking with a slight breeze, and I think the scores were locked away at 3/4 time, and unfortunately we ran out of legs. I think I was a bit stuck for a centre player that day after 3/4 time, and Boston's got up by a point that day. But you've got a bit of history anyway about the South Seconds and their grand final performances in the last decade or so.
The last time South's reserves played in the grand final was 1982, coached by Les Dennis. Unfortunately, they lost by 2 or 3 goals, and was playing against Boston's, and was a very controversial game. And at the end of the game, Les Dennis was reported by the umpires for abusive language. But checking up on the actual facts, which we have, and we're coming straight from the heart here, that it wasn't Les Dennis that said the words, it was Kim O'Connell, and Les was rubbed out for 7 games, so justice was not done there. 1981, the year before, they lost to Waybacks, coached by that very popular fella Noddy Clark from up at Cummins. And perhaps I'll mention, Peter, that our last premiership for South was in 1975. And I'll quickly give you a summary of that later on. But 1975, so that's 10 and what? 11 years ago. So it's a long time between drinks. But, well, it's not a long time between drinks because we've all had a drink between now and then, I feel sure. But back in the game now at the centre bounce, and Fitters Vivian has he's set the boys again. They've got a real challenge now to create a few more goals, kicking into this slight breeze. South's leading 6-5 to 1-3. Perhaps our better players for that quarter. Lenny O'Gorman in the forward line, very elusive. Fletcher, centre half forward, big job. Spackman, he's alive. Veldhuizen on the back flank. Doldrick at full back. And they're playing extremely well, these boys. It's a great team effort.
Well, here's the bounce down by umpire Pakovazoglov, and Mallee Park get this particular tap out. And here's Richards, I think, with the chance, fighting hard on the ground, and yes, had to get that free kick, Doug. He was only one with the ball in Bilney it was, and here's the opportunity for Mallee Park to go deep into attack. Yes, he's got it long. It's a tumbling punt, but here's Nash in front, and oh, it wasn't, yes, I think he had to pay that mark, Doug, because the defender was straight up and down on the one spot, and I think defenders, if they're going to go the spoil, have to have momentum and still be hitting through the ball. Anyhow, we saw David Nash kick a beautiful goal in the first quarter, and judging by that kick, he won't have any trouble with this one here.
No problems with the distance. David lining up, well, he slightly hooked that ball, and by gee, that's still in play, but it's out of bounds in Mallee Park's forward pocket. Well, that was a bad shot by David Nash. He didn't even score, and South have been let off the hook there a little bit. The throw in, thrown out towards South's way, and it's run out of bounds again. I think already South have put a bearing on this game by their height. It's completely in favour of South. The tap down from Kenny to Smith, who hooks around his body, and the ball runs out of bounds in front of Lee Clark. By gee, Lee Clark with that big bandage on, that doesn't look very good to me, but he's carried it the last couple of weeks, and that's one of the things about Clarks. They'll carry injuries. There's no problem there, and really good to see. The ball down again to Smith, roving in the forward, picked up by Clark. He's tackled. The ball runs up to the forward. Oh, a good pick up by Bates. Handball across to Smith. Smith with a wobbly old screw drop punt up towards Visic, but he overruns the ball, and it's picked up by the Mallee Park player, Rigney, whose handball goes astray, and now Smith looking, boy, Croc, he's covering some ground. Fletcher with the ball. Now that was a free kick to Fletcher. He got rid of the ball and was pulled off. Mallee Park player Burgoyne picks the ball up across to the wing, This is their... You got to watch this. They'll kick across goals to their players. Miller with a kick over to one of the boys with a knee. Gee, that knee, that doesn't look very safe at all. That looks like that'll crack. Oh, well, he's going to take his time. I think he'll have a shot from here, Peter. A long kick up towards Sampson. Sampson, a hook over the body by the Mallee Park player towards Malcolm Bilney. Oh, a bad bounce there. Picked up by Sambo. Sambo's... Oh, that was good. That's class. That's class. You saw it in front of your screen. You can watch it. He propped, misled the South players, and he's put a goal through the boy on the board. Boy, gee, the atmosphere for Mallee Park's not too good. I don't think anybody clapped then. Well, Mallee Park are now 2-3 to 6-5, and it appears, Peter, that this southern end is a scoring end to me.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the case in the under-17s, Doug, but certainly it is the trend here in the second grand final. Anyway, back at the on the farm, there's a knockout again to Mallee Park, and doing a little bit better in the ruck in this last 5 or 10 minutes. Miller kicks forward, and here's a strong mark to Mallee Park at centre half forward, and yes, it's Peel, and he's got a golden opportunity here to register another one for Mallee Park. Oh, there you go. There's a bit of controversy. It's hit the post and certainly looked a good kick off the boot, but one behind only. 2-4 now, Mallee Park to South 6-5.
Peter, unfortunately, I misread it. That wasn't Peel. That's Miller who hit the post there. A short kick by Doldick over to Veldhuizen, the Dutchman. Well, he's had plenty of touches already, and he's a strong point on that back flank. And look at that kick. That's straight up into that breeze, up towards Smith, who drops the ball. But he's quick enough to pick it up, and left leg snap smothered by the Mallee Park player. He's overrun the ball, and oh no, well,
soft free kick there, Doug.
Yes, well, it was on 20. It was on 20 years ago. Used to get them, but things have changed now, and he's also been paid a 15-metre penalty, and this has really put him in kicking distance here. 30 metres out, pops it up with the wind. Yes, the goal umpire puts the 2 fingers up, and that's another goal to Mallee Park, and they've come back a little bit in this quarter. 3-4 to 6-5. I'm still going to say that South have got too much height, Peter.
Yes, but noticeably Mallee Park getting the ball out of the centre since quarter time, Doug, and I think South really need to score a couple of goals this quarter to maintain their advantage. Mallee Park again with the tap, but plenty of Souths there, knocked forward by Neighbour. The strong body committed again, but here's Richards, I think it is, for Mallee Park. Over to Burgoyne. There's a bit of a scramble there. Bilney, yes, well, if you say those 3 names, you've got to get one right sooner or later. And kick forward here. Kobe it is for Mallee Park, and handballed on again. Miller. Here's the loose man set up by Mallee Park, and starting to get their game going now. Cross, oh, that's going against the breeze, Doug, and the one-hander at centre half forward by Heinz Burgoyne just wasn't good enough. That looked like a side bump to me, but paid in the back by the umpire, and Mallee Park another opportunity. He's going to back himself. He's kicking into this breeze a bit, Doug, and want to put it sort of well out in front, I think, for the breeze to straighten it up. Yes, it's in the square. I think it will. Oh, that's the mark is paid to the player behind. Obviously the South fingers were on it, but yes, I suppose the mark was there. Well,
it definitely came off hands. But if you come down with the ball, it's yours, and they pay them there. Good mark to Mallee Park, and 48. El Mundy. He's popped through another goal, which has put Mallee Park with 4 goals. Peter, I noticed that they've taken over the ruck here since Steve Visic has gone off the ball, and he's resting up there in the forward line, and I think he should be on the ball. Kenny's quite useful, but Visic's got the strength and the aggressiveness, and Visic did the first quarter, or most of the first quarter, but unless he gets on that ball, Mallee Park are going to run a little bit of riot here. Back at the centre bounce. Kenny up again. He's under the ball already, and Mallee Park have got that and tap again. It's out. Punched away by Bates, who is playing loose in defence at this moment. 31 for Mallee Park, taps it over. That's no free kick. Clawson with the ball following it up. Out comes Veldhuizen. Well, he's been in our top 2 or 3 players at this stage. He's strong. O'Gorman Across to Clawson again. Bates. Bates in the back line. Oh, well, a beautiful kick, but who'd it go to? The Mallee Park player. Across. Oh, there's 3 or 4. Oh, a bit of strength there by Neighbour. Well done, Neighbour, but John O'Parthenis, good handball. Up to McLaughlin. McLaughlin with a characteristic left leg kick. Smith. Handballs over to the Mallee Park player. Well, you don't do those sort of things. Mallee Park player on the back flank. Picks it up. Clears again. Kick towards the wing. Over towards tapped on. Tapped on. That's sensible football. Bradley Miller hooks around the body, but he was looking for the Mallee Park player, but Doldick, he read it well and marked it. Plays on to, well, now why the hell did he kick it there? Why didn't he aim for the bottom side? He kicked it to Lenny O'Gorman, who was on 2 or 3 Mallee Park players on him, and he was in trouble. Mallee Park with the ball, a quick snap, and a point results. Well, Doldick made a mistake there, kicking to Lenny O'Gorman. He could have cleared that ball over to the other side of the oval, 40 to 50 metres, and there would be no problem. Very lucky there with the South. I hope Doldick does not make that mistake again. Kicking out from fullback. He's aiming towards the back flank this time. He's not looking over the side.
Yes, well, that one wobbles off the boot, and noticeably O'Gorman takes the mark on this occasion, Doug. You know, when as the pressure was really on, he dropped that one out in the top side. But anyhow, here's a change. Robbie Johns off for South, and young Chris Robinson on.
An under-17 player, Peter, and he's got plenty of fire, and he's not frightened. This boy will make a bit of difference on this wing.
Well, there's the kick forward by Veldhuizen, I think it was, and Visic it is that's taken the mark at centre. Nice looking kick to half forward, but players out of position. I think it's Spackman there, caught behind the play. Applies the tackle there to Kelly for Mallee Park, but the ball out of bounds for a throw in.
A free kick there's been paid to South. Spackman must have been pushed in the back, and now what's happened over there? He must have been. He's kicked that out of bounds, that player. We can't quite see the white line from here, but he got the free kick and he must have run out of bounds and kicked that. The throw in by the umpire. Visic with the tap. A handball by the Mallee Park player to Jimmy Cracker. Oh, picked up out of there by Bates again. Bates with a high kick. Where are the tall boys? They're there. Oh, not quite. And Thorpe dropped the mark. It's on the ground. Picked up by the Mallee Park player, Kobe. Here they come again. A missed handball. Smith across to Dudley. Kobe again. A wobbly punt kick right in front of the grandstand. Fletcher. Now something's funny going on here because Fletcher's down here on the wing. Now why the hell isn't he at centre half forward? Anyway, the ball out in front of the grandstand. Robertson, cleverly picked up and a good kick. Now that's the difference. Look at that kick. Into the forward line. A drop punt. A chance for Bates. Over to Clark. Clark with a grubber. Yes. Now that's top football. That's very good football.
Yes, well, exciting football by young Chris Robinson, the snowy-headed lad that's just gone onto the wing, and that's the first real sortie forwards by South, and Clark under pressure just managed to get that kick through the pack, and it's gone through for a very valuable goal. 7-5 now Lincoln South, 4-5 Mallee Park.
Yes, Robinson, the boy from the under-17s team. I've got a lot of time for this lad, and I said it earlier in the year that he can play A grade, and I feel sure he will. And you notice the kick, Peter, it was a drop punt. Straight into the forward. Not a wobbly old thing. Clawson drops that mark on the wing. The ball tapped out by the Mallee Park player. Mallee Park going into attack. A handball out to the open to Richards. Richards on the forward flank. Falls over. Gets up again. Neighbour. The strength. Kicked into the man. Miller's been... well, I would have paid that free there to Miller. He was pushed. And the handball's gone astray over to the Mallee Park player who has a quick snap and a bit of pressure relief there, and it's gone out of bounds on the full, and the kick in will be taken by, well, I'm not too sure. Doldick. Yes, I can see him standing there. Doldick. There's another short proppy punt to that brilliant player, Lenny O'Gorman. His short kick again to the back flank.
Lenny must bank at the State Bank, Doug.
Either play together, drink together, or bank together, so more likely drink together, Peter. Bates fumbled that. Well, that's a setter. First mistake is made. Lee Clark thumps it in the air and follows up with a good tackle by Lee Clark. He's the typical Clark. He chases and he doesn't give up. Mallee Park player picks up and a sensible kick to Miller again on the centre half forward there. Actually, Kenny shouldn't be standing that mark. He should be down there at full back. He shouldn't be standing that mark. He's a tall player. He should be down there taking a mark. Short kick by the Mallee Park player across to, looks like Heinzie Burgoyne. Yeah, so he's got a little bit of class, Hines. He's been around a bit, and I feel sure, that Hines will put this through for a goal. Hines with the kick, 40 metres out. He's missed. A point has resulted, and that can be a costly miss at this stage. South leading 7-5 to 4-5. Daldrick with the ball. He'll aim for the bottom side again across there to Fletcher. Fletcher must be on the ball. I think so, yes. Well, Fletcher's behind at this stage, and the Mallee Park player kicks back towards full forward, and pack goes up. David Nash misses that, but the missed kick comes out here to the Mallee Park player, and he read that well, Mundy, and he's popped through a goal for Mallee Park, and that's a telling goal for Mallee Park. They're now only a couple of goals behind South. Well, I'll say it again, Visic's off the ball, and when he was on the ball, he was dominating the centre and around the play, so Fletcher has come onto the ball at the centre bounce in place of Kenny. Ball back at centre, bounce again. Up goes Fletcher, punches in the air. O'Gorman Robinson underneath it. O'Gorman with the left leg up towards the forward flank, picked up by the Mallee Park player. He's tackled. That's not holding the ball as the people yell out. Thorpe with the ball, traps it under him, pushes it out towards Smith. Dudley with the ball, over to Kobe. Lenny O'Gorman, the characteristic duck. Handballs over to Robinson. He's already been quite impressive since he came on. Good kick. Now that's the difference. Having a look. Another good kick by McLaughlin goes astray. It's picked up by Clawson. He's tackled. No, not too high. Well, Lee Clark gave a silly free away. He pushed him in the back. The ball trapped in the full-back area, and a 15-metre penalty of play. Now look, it's quite common sense. If you're not going to hand the ball back on the full, leave the damn thing on the ground. Kick towards the centre, over to Heinz Burgoyne. Heinz Burgoyne kick to Wally Miller. Wally Miller with a handball out to Jeremy Kobe, who pops it in the air, and it's a goal. Well, you can see the difference. The penalty was paid back there when the player did not hand the ball back on the full. And now a goal has resulted from Mallee Park because of some bad football. Mallee Park right back in this game, getting close to half-time with about 7 minutes to go, trailing 6-6 to 7-5. And I'll say it again, if Visic doesn't get back on that ball, Mallee Park will be in front at half-time. He's standing up there in the forward line. His height has got to be used, particularly kicking into that breeze. You can stand there in the forward pocket in the forward line and take some marks, but not when you're kicking into the breeze. Fletcher coming in against the youngish-looking, spindly-looking Mallee Park player, and the Mallee Park player's out-rucked him. He's handballed it down to Brad Miller, who handballs across. The Dutchman comes through. Mallee Park player misfumbles it, picked up by the Dutchman. A handball out to Snow Robinson. Lenny O'Gorman follows it up, and I'll back Lenny O'Gorman to do something. Yes, he's hit it out towards Lee Clark. Lee Clark, with his pace, runs up to the half-forward, aims the ball to the half-forward line to Visic. He seems to find the ball underneath him like Easter Bunny, but he's, well, you saw it. Was he holding the ball? Pinged for holding the ball. Well, I couldn't agree with that free anyway, but the Mallee Park player aims it across to Dudley. Dudley has the ball in the black centre pitch, aims it across to the half-forward flank, and it looks like Kobe. No, it's Heinz Burgoyne. Heinz Burgoyne tackled, handball over his head, across to Kobe. His kick in the air to the forward pocket player in 24, who picks it up, and Miller. Well, you don't give these boys any chance. You just don't give these lads a metre. And they have taken over this quarter, Mallee Park. Their short game has been extremely well. Playing it great. Short kicks, aiming for players because they know the pace is there. And looks like a change coming on for South. Jarrett is going on in place of Spackman. Well, I can't understand why Spackman's coming off. He must be injured.
Well, it's a relief to be back, Doug, and yes, Stumpy Jarrett takes the field, and it looks like he's going into the forward pocket for South. And yes, a bit of a turnaround, although Mallee Park lead by 1 point at this stage. There's Visic.
He's just come back on the ball, Peter. He's going to put an influence already on the game.
Up to O'Gorman, and oh gee, I think that might have been a free kick that time, but anyhow, play goes on, and
he fell over again.
And his neighbour at centre half back, well out in front and taking a strong mark. Fairly short with his kick. Fletcher, strong lad this Fletcher, Doug, and he's taken that mark, and should be able to get a bit of penetration with a kick. Oh, a beautiful kick too.
Long kick up towards Thorpe, who backed back into the Mallee Park players, and picked up by Mulga McLaughlin, and you just don't bounce the ball nowadays. That's holding the ball for sure.
Well, that was a bit of a Doug Glass manoeuvre, but anyhow, here's the Mallee Park out wide. Looks like Dudley it is. Oh, kicks the ball forward, and Puff Smith it was, and it's Kobe, is it? Over to, but the handball's wide to Parthenis. Shocking handball over to Veldhuizen. Miller, equally shocking, gives Parthenis another chance, but no one able to get possession. Here's Mallee Park, there's the short pass. Plenty of time. Props eludes two players beautifully into the. This is a walk-in goal, and Mallee Park now exerting some authority on the game. 8 goals 6 to South 7 goals 5.
Well, Mallee Park are right back in this, and full credit to those boys. They're really playing well. They get the short game going, and they're not frightened to kick the ball 10, 12 metres to a player on his own, because they know the electrifying pace of them will run rings around this back line. Full credit to that Peel boy there, and one flicks back to the memories that we had a Peel lad playing for us, Peter. His name was Harry Peel, and he won a medal.
Boomerang legs?
Yes, yes, that's right. He had boomerang legs, but he was a good footballer for South, and he would be still with us, unfortunately, but he went with Mallee Park, and he's a medal winner, Harry. The tap down by Visic is, well, good football by Visic. He followed through and tried to pick up, smothered. Thorpe on the ball now. McLaughlin tackles the player who didn't have it, and a bit of frustration is creeping into the Lincoln South players at this stage.
Yes, well, this breeze, okay, it's slightly favouring the southern end, Doug, but I think it's this mainly psychological that Lincoln Souths feel as if they're going into a strong wind, and I think psychologically they're doing themselves out of the game. They've stopped running.
Visic, strong mark at centre half forward, plays on, kicks the ball up towards Lenny O'Gorman. O'Gorman with the ball in front of the, towards the time clock over there. He's got to get it on quick though, Len. That's a high kick. Now, where are the big players? Where are the tall players? Kenny. Here he is. Thorpe drops the mark right in front of the goal square, falls over, and, well, nearly could have held that, but a point to South, and that was good football by Visic. He's playing quite well at this stage. He's back on the ball, and that's pretty important to South. I'd say he will have to ruck the complete half of the next game. The ball kicked out, Visic under the ball, pushed on by the Mallee Park player over to Malcolm Building, who handballs across again in 43. Here they go. There they go. There's another handball. They're quick. 45. David Nash. Well, things are slowed down a bit now. He'll aim for goal because David doesn't believe in not having a shot, and he's pushed it through for a goal. By gee, Peter, that went down there. Top-class football there. That was as quick as you'd see in A grade.
Yes, well done by Mallee Park, but Doldig, who has played very solidly at full-back all day, took his eyes off the ball as it was coming in, and unfortunately positioned himself in the wrong position, and then found that he was unable to put a hand on the ball. So a costly error there by Doldig, but anyhow, full marks to Mallee Park. They're 2 goals in front at this stage, and South really do have to fight back here and perhaps look for another score before half-time. Parks again out of the centre, but yes, and they do get the kick away. Here's the South defence out in front. Sampson it is, slow to get the kick. Good tackle there by...
that was a free kick, Peter. He was tackled high.
Tackle by Miller. Here's the chip pass. Doldig comes out.
Picked up by Sambo.
Yes, the Mallee Park player then wasn't too interested when he saw Doldig coming out, but anyhow, play goes on. Williams, Parthenis fumbles. Here's Neighbour. He's solid. He doesn't mind putting the body over the ball, Doug. Mulga caught under the ball, knocked on by Dudley for Parks. Plenty of dash, eludes a couple of tackles, kicks across the ground, and gee, those floating passes must be easy to mark. play on there. Miller it is. There's the handball again to his namesake, and there's another goal to Mallee Park. They're not frightened to ping the ball sideways, Doug, and I think a lot of these other clubs that play Mallee Park don't realise that it's not the normal pattern of play, and these players that should be checking sort of tend to think that they won't do this type of thing, and when they do, they're caught out of position, the defenders.
Well, it's an unorthodox way of playing football. They're not frightened to go across the goals, 20, 30 metres, and full credit to Mallee Park. They're back in this game. They were down at quarter time, and South seemed to relax a bit, I think. Have they? Yes, they have, Peter. They've kicked 9 goals this quarter, and that's top football in B grade. Visic, a good tap. Well, it's not a tap, that's a thump. A thump up towards the forward line, but looks like one of the Bilnies. His handball across, Smith picks up. Now look, we're into attack again. There's the ball. Kenny has to mark this. No, he's been hustled out of it, and Bates with the ball. Yes, that's holding the ball. That's holding the ball for sure. No attempt at that. Pressure relieved by Mallee Park. Now, South got that ball up there as quick as what Mallee Park did. Unfortunately, Kenny couldn't hold that mark. The kick out to the back flank to Smith of Mallee Park. Now, he goes across the goals to a little fella, 23, and he picked him out, and Betts has that mark, and a silly free kick there, and he's got a 15-metre, and has now been brought up to the centre position. His kick, a drop punt, Veldhuizen in front, nearly marked that, could have been paid the mark. The short handball out to Miller. Miller lines up, and he pops through a goal. By gee, this is a complete transformation of this game. Mallee Park have really taken over here, right from the back line to the forward line, and well, can South make changes? What's going to happen? We're in trouble in the back line here. There's a bit of frustration keeping into the game, and I notice their players they seem to be keeping well out on the boundary, Peter, and running into the open spaces, and that's a secret of Mallee Park. They're fast enough to run to these open spaces, and the ball's kicked there. They're very sure of getting it.
Yes, well, that's 10 goals to Mallee Park in this quarter, and it's not finished yet, Doug, so South really have lost the initiative here. They're just not running as they were in the first quarter. Now, Visic here has missed an opportunity. Sinks the slipper in now, though, and gives Clark the opportunity. But there's the siren for half-time. 11 goals 6, 72 behinds to Mallee Park, 7 goals 6, 48 to Lincoln South. Now, Coach Vivian really will have to pull something up out of the sleeve to motivate these guys. Judging by that, South are going to have to come back with an 8 or 10 goal quarter to get back into this grand final, Doug.
Yes, the pressure's really on now, from being 3 or 4 goals up at quarter time to 3 or 4 goals down at half time. It's a really pressure game now, and Mallee Park have got on top, there's no doubt about that, and their short game has been really good. They're not frightened to kick the ball across the ground, and I think South will have to go back to the basics of putting their players back where they started off in the first quarter.
Gets the ball away quickly, and there's one for the speedsters, but of course Lee Clark isn't as fast as he used to be, but uses the body well. Gone to ground. Here's a chance for Mallee Park. Looks like Miller with a kick forward. Here's the opportunity again. I think it's another Miller, isn't it, Doug?
Yes.
There's the handball into the open space. There's the kick, and Miller again, is it? Gee, they must be controlling one side of the oval, but anyway, Mallee Park have slammed an immediate goal on, and things are looking a little bit grim for South at this stage, Doug. What can they do?
Well, the pace. Now, you saw Lenny Gorman kick the ball across the ground then, nearly at right angles, when the goals are straight down the ground, kicking with a slight breeze, and that was good football there by Mallee Park. Miller to Miller to Miller, and there's no doubt about that. That Miller's name has been very prominent around this town for a long time.
Enough Millers there to start up a big brass band, Doug. Anyway, there's the Visic with a big tap forward. Fletcher again. Here's Spackman. He's just been off the interchange bench. And Smith taking his eye off the ball then. Bad play by Smith. He's played enough football to do better than that. Dudley kicks the ball forward up to the wing. Here's a lion-hearted approach by Williams out of the back line. O'Gorman with plenty of courage and strength on this occasion. Chips the ball forward. Fletcher's under the ball. 3 Lincoln Souths there. but Kobe reads it better, and by gee, he hasn't kicked it anywhere though, Doug, and here's the opportunity for the Flying Dutchman, and he's gone to ground and legged, and from the true wing position kicks forward to Bates, who okay, he brought that ball down as a neutral ball, but no support on the ground, and Dudley chips wide, and it's all Parks out there. Cardinieri over to Kobe. Visic puts the pressure on, and here's another approach by the Flying Dutchman. Good play because he's let it up as a neutral ball, and South's able to pressure Mallee Park into the error.
With the ball out there on the wing, it's Mallee Park leading 12-6 to 7-6, 5-goal difference. Well, it could be a Miller, 35. Burgoyne it is. Short kick to the centre. Across to Richards in front of Lee Clark. Richards picks the ball up. A good handball over there to the Mallee Park player who runs through the half-forward line. I think that's another Miller, yes. Miller with a long kick, and oh, you don't see any better than that. Good football there by Mallee Park. They've completely taken over this game. Good handball there, and there's no doubt about that. That's top-class football. These boys are really playing well, Mallee Park. They've come from about, must have kicked 12 goals to South's 1 at this stage, and they're leading 13-6 to 7-6. The South boys haven't panicked yet, but they don't seem to be handling that ball as well as they were in that last quarter. And Visic, yes, you've got to keep him on the ball. Here's a big tap, picked up by the Mallee Park player, across to 43, who Dudley picks up and shoots it across the wing to Kobe. And Kobe's been one of their better players, Peter. He's held it South up numerous times. They've just got a little bit too much class at this stage, and the kick off the ground by the Mallee Park player, cross up to Doldick. Well, Doldick's been a bit of a strength there. That's the difference. Having a look, kicks across to Kenny. Kenny with a long handball. It sits for O'Gorman. O'Gorman runs around the left leg. A short kick across to Spackman. Spackman must have been injured, Peter, to be taken off the ground, and he's got to be kept on the ground. He's one of the better players, and his kick to McLaughlin, who's in front, the burly Mulga. His kick, but he's too slow at getting up. A good kick into the forward line, over the top, well read by Bates, and he popped it through for a goal. Well, that's a much-needed goal by South there, and good football there from McLaughlin. He made the position, took the mark, a little bit slow at getting up and getting the ball on quick. Kicks the ball along, and over the top, and Timmy Bates, the Kangaroo Island boy, picks it up and pops through a goal. Well, that's a very much-needed goal, and it puts South back in distance now, 13-6 to 8-6. But, Peter, Visic's got to be kept on that ball and knocking it.
Yes, well, the other thing is, okay, those big thumps are handy, but of course South have got to take advantage of it and read the play. Well, there's a mistake there by Bates for South's, infringement on the line at the centre bounce, and that's unexcusable for senior footballers. There's the spoil by Neighbour, and down to ground, O'Gorman battling away, Williams, Spackman, Fletcher, I think it is, and but here's Mallee Park. I think it's Richards. Chips the ball out wide. I think this is Bradley Miller. He's an ex-South player, isn't he, Doug? I think he was back in my B grade side there at one stage, but kicks the ball forward. Here's the opportunity for Doldig again, and how's that one going to land? Bit of cheating there by Lee Clark, but that one's definitely out on the full. And I think this is Bradley Miller. Wasn't he a leading goal kicker in the A grade there in Mallee Park's early years? Anyway, there's the kick forward again. Mallee Park up into the goal square. Doldig, eyes on the ball, but unfortunately it's registered a score, one behind to Mallee Park.
Well, there was a Bradley Miller that played for South, but I don't think that's the same fella, Peter. It's perhaps the same colour, but not the same fella. The ball kicked out by Doldig, and good mark there by, it must be Terry, Tommy, or another Miller, but gee, the Miller boys are playing well, aren't they? Miller's kick into David Nash, who has the ball out, and knowing David Nash, he'll have a shot from here, and he'll probably pop it through from there.
Generally likes the new ball though, Doug. A bit of shine off the ball. He's not quite as handy.
David's kick sort of pulls it, has the distance, it's fallen short, and pushed through by Sampson. Sampson of South just takes the easy way out there, and that's another point to Mallee Park.
Bit of a state bank combination there on the full back line, Doug, with Doldig and Sampson.
Yes, well, it appears to be get with the strengths, but the strength is certainly not there today. Robinson with the ball, drop punt, up to Visic. Visic drops the ball, picked up by the Veldhuizen. Spell it if you can. Cross to Clark, who, oh well, that's not a free. He's been pinged for attempting to spoil, but nevertheless, while he's standing around looking, the Mallee Park boy picks it up, a short kick, across to Burgoyne, Burgoyne to Miller, Miller with a very good driving kick, up to Doldick, Doldick drops the ball, a quick kick off the ground by Miller, T. Miller, and resulting in a point. Well, Lee Clark was a bit unfortunate there. I don't think that was a free kick. There's been worse ones than that should have been paid. Robinson misses that one. Over to the Mallee Park player in the forward pocket. They're quick, Peter. There's no doubt about it. They're as quick as Quicksilver. Parthenesis intercepts that handball, and yes, he has been quiet. Over to Visic. Well, that's the same thing as what Lee Clark did, and Big Steve Visic has the ball. Now, he should drive this ball as far as he can. He should aim for the goals from there. Good kick up there to McLaughlin. Oh, the carry. Why the hell do they run around on that left leg for? Kicks the ball in the air and is picked up by the I think it might be Cardineri who pops it back to the Mallee Park player. They're off. They're off. That's not holding the ball. Away he goes. Aims towards the half-forward flank. Picked up by Miller again. Miller across to Malcolm Bilney, who lines up and pops through another goal. Gee, South are in trouble at this stage. They're just too fast, Peter.
Yes, well, a complete turnaround in the game, and wonder, you know, our hearts are with South, of course, Doug, but really they're in big trouble here, and you know, you'd almost have to say they're gone 10 minutes into the third quarter.
Well, I'm afraid being a South supporter, I can't say they're gone, but they're in a bit of trouble, and unless a complete transformation comes over this game, that Mallee Park are going to kick 20 goals. Visic. Gee, that fella hasn't rucked too bad, that tall, spinny little boy. Peter, what is it, fella? Well, who is that fella that's doing the rucking? Well, if he turns his back, we'll see him, 48. 48, El Mundy. He's, for the size of him, he hasn't rucked too bad. Visic with a thump. Cross to Lee Clark. Lee Clark dodges. Well done, Lee. Runs again, bounces the ball through half forward. Good handball over to Bates, who drops the ball. Lee Clark follows up. Bates across to 36, who aims for the centre. Betts, there's Kobe again. He's been one of their strong players on the half-back flank. He's fumbling the ball, but he'll come out with it. Picks it up, handballs up to the wing. Little boy's trapped. 46 follows it up. I think that's Rigney. Roger Rigney drives the ball to centre half forward. He saw that lad leading. There's no doubt about that, and he aimed for him, but something's happened on the back flank back here. I noticed the umpire has taken Kenny's number, and the book is out. Yes, the book has come out. I should say you don't need to worry about me playing the first game next week, Kenny. Next year, sorry. The ball's played on, handballed across to 41, and by gee, that was a quick handball and a damn good kick. Kick into that breeze, and that went through the post halfway up. Well, South are in a bit of trouble, and a bit of frustration is creeping into their players with Kenny. Not necessarily an aggressive player, but he did something on the back line there, and he's been pinged. He'll go before the commissioners, and there's no doubt he'll get a game.
Yes, we're back at the centre square, Doug. 15 goal 9 Mallee Park, 8 goal 6 Lincoln South. Another shocking bounce by the umpire, and it's not been recalled. The players have stopped still, and I believe it is the interpretation these days that if the ruckmen do not have the opportunity to compete with the ball, it must be brought back and rebounced. Anyhow, high tackle, there's the handball out. Over to Mundy, McLaughlin intercepts, a bit slow getting the kick away, but here's Clark under pressure again. Oh, but trying to come from behind, Doug, and you know, I think he's not a tall lad, and should have fought to front position.
Bilney. Malcolm Bilney with the ball on the wing. He aims along the grandstand flank, and it's aimed up towards David Nash, who's misfumbled, picked up by Bradley Miller. His aim, he kicks towards the forward line. Packed there flies, but unfortunately it's pushed out of bounds right in front of the time clock there. 15-9 to 8-6. Now at this stage, Mallee Park looked like kicking 20 goals. That's an extremely good effort, unless South can get back in this game, and well, they've got to kick at least 8 to hit the front. Feldhuisen handballs across to Smith. Smith, a wobbly old punt kick up towards Snowy Robinson. McLaughlin handballs over the top. The pace of one of the Mallee Park players. Hooks it back. Clever hook back, but intercepted by Kenny. 31, Kobe picks the ball. Good handball there across to Mundy. That Mundy's played well. He's rucking well, and his missed kick, a high punt kick, is marked in the back pocket by Williams. And he's no relation to Foss or Stephen or Mark. Kenny marks the ball. A short jabby kick into the centre pitch. 3 Mallee Park boys there to Bates. Bates still chasing the ball. Picked up by and handballed. Lee Clark, he's tackled too high. He could have got a free kick there, but he's followed through, and another free kick to Lee. Pick the ball up, get the ball back to Lee quick, and push it across here towards Spackman. He'll get the ball towards Spackman, up the top. Thorpe with the ball, punched away, picked up by Betts, and Betts across to Kobe again. Well, I'd say Kobe's been one of Mallee Park's best players out there, Peter. He hardly misses the ball, that fella.
Yeah, it's been very strong, but poor kick on this occasion, and McLaughlin the opportunity to put South into attack. Gee, they haven't been into attack very often this quarter. Goes short, and Spackman dropping into the space at centre half forward. Kicks to the top side, which is very reasonable tactics. He hasn't gone too wide. Fletcher unable to mark. There's Doldig, is it up there, Doug? What's
Bates.
Oh, Bates it was, sorry. Anyway, but here's Mallee Park coming away. And Smith it is. It looks like he may have just come on the ground actually, but there's a nice penetrating kick. Up it goes. Ball to ground. It's the opportunity for Visic. It looks like Mundy and theirs. It looks like somebody tried to kick the ball, but Veldhuisen comes away strongly. Beautiful kick. Up over the centre of the ground. But, oh no, that mark not paid there. Here's O'Gorman. Breaks clear. Here's the chance for Bates. Should run in. Should run all the way. But kicks from a long way out, but has done it well enough, I think. And there's a goal, a much-needed goal to Lincoln South. They are now 9-6, trailing Mallee Park 15-9.
The Dutchman back there, Reinhard Veldhuisen, he stole the ball there, and he kicked the ball long towards Lenny O'Gorman, and a clever handball by Lenny over to Timmy Bates, and he popped through a goal. Good football there by South, and unfortunately it's only been played once or twice or 3 times a quarter, and you've got to keep it up. You've just got to keep doing that. And actually, Peter, I think Lenny has dropped out of the game, whereas in the first quarter he was in everything, and somehow he's fallen in a bit of a hole, and that may reflect back on his fitness due to having not played the last 6 or 7 games, and perhaps a little bit of celebrating came into that part of the week. Smith with the ball, aims towards O'Gorman. He's back in it. You can't keep a good footballer down, says Lenny, and I'm back in the play now. Pops the ball up towards Thorpe. Thorpe's marked that. Oh, no, he marked that. There's no doubt about that. He marked that, but he's been paid the free, and I think that's the equaliser. Yes, that's the charity free, and he's going to have a shot on about a 30-degree angle on towards the 4 o'clock. Well, yes, and good footballers kick these goals. He's popped it up, and he's popped it through. That brings South back into the game a little bit, 15-9 to 10-6. Well, Lenny O'Gorman once again got back into that play, and I feel that Lenny dropped out in that second quarter, and he's back in it. You don't keep a good footballer down for too long. Well, the runners out to South to install a little bit of enthusiasm there. They certainly seem to lack a bit of this time. They need a bit of fire and a bit of desire for that ball. And Kenny back at the centre, rucking against Mundy, and the height of this boy should easily out-ruck this fella, and unfortunately that little 48, he's doing a good job in the ruck. Up he goes, nullified there, but Bates coming out of the ball. Good kicker of the ball, up towards Thorpe again. Thorpe out in front. Well, he made good position there, but picked up by Smith, I think. Smith with a left legger up towards the boundary. Nobody to kick it to, but good football there by Smith. It's kicked up towards the wing, and it's run out of bounds. There's a little bit of funny business going on back here between Thorpe and D. Kelly, but nothing much in it. Bit of pushing, but that's all right. Always you push with your open hand, have no problems then. Ball tapped down by Kenny, down towards Smith, and runs up alongside the half-forward line. Clawson comes out. He's got his head over the ball, but not quite good enough. Kicked up towards Parthenis, and David Nash has the ball, and he made no attempt there, David, and he's throwing his hands around like a real character there, and he's pinged for holding the ball. Veldhuizen with the ball. Another good kick by Veldhuizen. He's an extremely good kicker of the ball. Up towards Snowy Robinson, but a good mark there by Cartaneri, and he relieves the pressure for Mallee Park. His kick up there towards, must be a Miller because I can't recognise him, but over to Greg Smith. Greg Smith to Snowy Robinson, who fumbles it and is pushed off the ball. Malcolm Bilney with the ball. Short pass to Miller. Miller with a heavy bandage on his knee, and has played quite well at this stage. He's going to aim up there towards one of the Mallee Park players, and out coming Sampson with a punt kick up towards. Can't pick up that play. Jarrett, I think. No, Doldick. The ball out on the forward flank for Kobe to pick up and hook around his body, and Sampson again standing in the way there like a Sampson and Delilah. He's plays on with a left leg kick up towards Veldhuizen. Veldhuizen handballs back, loses possession of the ball, and picked up by Mundy up towards the forward line, and marked there in the forward pocket by Miller. Not paid. Play on, says the umpire. Tackled by the South players, and there's plenty of South players up there at this stage. And the ball out of bounds in the forward pocket. Thrown in. Mundy versus Kenny, over the back towards 30. His kick marked in the back, right alongside the point post by Gomer Pole, neighbour. His torpedo punt, a wobbly torpedo punt, marked out in the back flank there by Veldhuizen, and I'd put Veldhuizen high in our best players at this stage, Peter. His kicking has been extremely good. Up towards Snowy Robinson, who's paid the mark. Well, he didn't mark the ball.
That was an evener upper for that last one, I think, Doug. But here's 15 metres against the Mallee Park player, and Snowy Robinson the chance to put South deep into attack. This pulls that one across the ground, and unfortunately it set it up for Cartaneri. Bad kicking there by the South player.
There, second result.
Goes out wide to the wing, and yes, the South player's caught out of position here. That's Smith, I think it is, that chips the ball up to Mundy, and as you said, Doug, he's featuring prominently in the game as the shower starts to come down here at Centenary Oval. Things might get a little bit slippery, but that could help South in the last quarter, Doug, do you think, psychologically? But anyhow, it's not worrying Parks at the moment. There's the chip pass away, and it's Betts Richards, it is, the diminutive little forward player for Mallee Park. A little bit of a hard job to kick it from there, Doug. Chips away. Oh, right in front of goal. Plenty of hands up. Mallee Park at the back of the pack. Beautiful pick up. Chips it back. Parthenis to ground. And somebody's been pinged holding the ball. And the South defender. And do you think the umpiring's up to standard at this stage, Doug?
Oh yes, there's nothing wrong with the umpiring, Peter. They've paid the player going for the ball, and just that Mallee Park are too quick. No, the umpiring has been quite good at this stage. The shot for goal's gone floated right across. Up go the pack, and
Please come to the Secretary's office urgently, please.
Ball being thrown into the forward pocket. 48 again. Mundy gets a tap down to Betts, who hooks around his body, and that's quite good football there, and it's through for a point.
Please come to the Secretary's office urgently, please.
A little bit of rain coming down now, which is, I think if I was 5 goals in front, I'd be praying for a lot more. But the ball kicked out, and Veldhuizen with the ball on the back flank. You can guarantee this will be a 40-50 metre drop punt, which it is, up onto the wing, and the running players. Malcolm Bilney there, falls over. Ronnie Nash back on the oval again. That characteristic crash helmet on.
Well, he'd stand out, Doug, with those white legs, especially with it getting a little bit dark at the moment.
Well, that's right, yes. Umpire with the ball, about to bounce. Kenny versus Mundy, tapped over. And this will be another Miller running through there. He's got the run of the ball, but overruns it. Bit of a scrum occurs there, and it'll be a bounce by the umpire blew it. Tommy Peel just comes back on the ground, number 33, or perhaps this is his first time on the ground. I'm not too sure about that, but bats with the ball around the outer of the oval, still in possession of it. Good little handball up to Miller. Charged there by Bates, and well, he was a bit unlucky there to be pinned for holding the ball, I thought. Parthenesis kicks the ball high in the air, up towards the wing, but you could read that from there, couldn't you? You could see that the Malcolm building was going to mark that. Here's a little kick across to Miller. Miller's handball across to Miller. Miller with a shot for goal, and it's a point. Well, Mallee Park have certainly taken over this game at this stage, but I think I'd like to point out that they're only leading by 6 goals, whereas at three-quarter time there was an 8-goal difference. So South have lifted the game a bit. Doldrick's kick out towards the back flank, sees Robinson jump up, but failure to bring it down with Lenny O'Gorman there. Head over the ball, up to Kenny. Kenny with a long kick. Fletcher's playing from behind at this stage, but McLaughlin picks up. Spackman, well, that's in front of your eyes. He didn't hang on to that mark, but he's been paid. He's got to have a shot for a goal from here, and well, he looks a bit too far out, but very deceiving, this fella. I reckon he'll go close to kicking this. He puts the ball in the air. It's going to be right on the line, and he's kicked it. By gee, Doug, you called that well, didn't you?
Tremendous shepherding by young Mark Thorpe on the goal line, Doug. Enabled that one to go through, and yes, a good fight back by South. 5 goals down, but with this drizzle, this is what I think might throw a bit of a question mark into the hearts of some of the Mallee Park boys, and perhaps South aren't out of it at this stage.
Oh, no way. Any team that gives up now in a grand final is too soft, and I have no doubt that South won't give this game up. They're only 5 goals down, and good teams will fight back. Even if they don't win, they'll at least show a bit of spirit and a bit of determination and get right back in this game and give these 4,000 or 5,000 people here a real run for their money. Bates with the ball, picks it up, handballs in the air. Spackman taps on. Bates following through, but the Mallee Park players pick it up. Cartoneri across to Kobe. Kobe's kick up alongside the back flank. See Sampson running out for the ball. He'll pick it up and drive it back with a nice wobbly floater up along the wing. Ronnie Nash runs into all sorts of things there, Ronnie. Picked up, back step by Cartoneri again. He's relieved twice in a row there. Up to Kobe. Kenny with the ball. Good handball there. Cross to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to O'Gorman. Have a look, Lenny. Aim it down there. Where's it going? Visic. Visic nearly held. Here's a chance. That's unlucky not to be pinned for holding the ball there. Thorpe. He's tackled. Bit of a throw there. Visic and Thorpe both in there. 4 Mallee Park players, and I think South were a bit weak there, Peter. They should have at least had possession of that ball.
Yes, well, I think they were caught with possession, Doug, and probably should have been pinned holding the ball on a couple of occasions there, but Visic takes the ball out of the ruck, and his quick snap, unfortunately, is out of bounds on the full. Yes, I agree. There seemed to be those couple of South lads in the firing line there, a little bit awkward. There's the siren, ladies and gentlemen, for three-quarter time. South 11 goals 6, trail Mallee Park 15 goals 11, and with the showers coming down now, there may still be a lot of interest in this last quarter.
Yeah!
The last quarter about to begin the Centenary Oval, and it's a do-or-die effort for South here. Well, now that's twice that's happened, Peter. Now that's quite simple. There's a white line in front of you, and it says don't go over. Perhaps they have to write it in writing. Now that's bad football there by South, and from the centre bounce it's kicked down towards the forward line, and it's marked by the Miller again in front of Doldrick, and he's about 40 metres out, and with the confidence running high that he'll kick this. He'll kick it. He'll give it plenty of height. He's put it up in the air, right there on the line. Punched away by Kenny. Cross to Clawson. Unlucky not to be paid a free kick there, and I think he has been paid. Yes, Clawson in the back pocket, about to relieve for South. He'll aim it up alongside the outer there. Good kick. Up towards the group, and well, that was a good mark there by the Mallee Park player, but unfortunately for Mallee Park, Veldhuizen was interfered with, and his kick towards the centre, up towards Fletcher, that's Fletcher's first touch since the first quarter, I think, Peter. He's dropped out of the game completely at centre half forward, and that's the position you have to win in games of football. Down to the centre. He's got the ball. He's got to kick it long now. They've got time to kick it short. Long kick up towards centre half forward. Spackman, Thorpe. Thorpe with the run of the ball. Dive. Now, no good diving on the ball, Peter. That's he had the run of the ball and he threw himself upon it.
Well, I disagree with you, Doug. I saw the mighty Woodville side play last Sunday, and I thought it was a feature of their game, the way they flung themselves over the ball. But of course the difference is that you've got to have the players milling around the pack, making position, and that's what the South player didn't have on that occasion. Anyway, Snow Robinson the opportunity, chips the ball forward, but out of bounds on the half-forward left flank for Lincoln South. I think a couple of quick goals here by South had set this game alight and possibly put the Mallee Park players right under pressure, Doug. Let's hope so for the game's sake anyway. Up they go. Kenny beautifully over the back. Clark chips away. No real solid leads. Oh, and what a mark by Visic at half forward. And the big fish has pulled this one in, and my gee, he should be able to kick it from here, Doug.
Well, that was top football there from Kenny. His tap over the back to Lee Clark, who picked it up and sensibly knew that Visic was up there lurking in that dangerous area, and good kick there by Lee, and Visic's pulled down a good mark. Well, he has to kick this one to get South back in the game, and his shot from directly in front, 40 metres out. Well, off the boot, it looks good, and it is good. That's a goal. That's Visic's first goal, I think, and that's the start that South wanted. 2 minutes into the last quarter, they have a goal on the board. 15-11 to Mallee Park, 12-6 to South. Well, we have to follow up here now and get another one, and then another one, and possibly 2 or 3 more, because Mallee Park, they won't lie down. They'll come back. They'll come back with their short game. Back at the centre bounce, Kenny with the ball. It's that spinny little Monday again of Mallee Park. He's tapped it over. Kobe with the ball. Across to Williams, who loses the possession of it. Veldhuizen, across to Clark. Clark with the ball, smothered, picked up by one of the Millers, not too sure which one, but his kick is well read by Clawson in the back pocket, who relieved the pressure. And a little bit of doubt about Clawson in the back pocket. He's a bit of a go-getter up there in the forward line, and I think he might be playing at the wrong end of the ground. Gorman with the ball. Well, Lenny's had plenty of touches this game. His kick up towards Kenny. Kenny plays on quickly. That's good football. Determination's come into the game. His kick across to centre half forward. Well, Fletcher was beaten there. He didn't read the ball. Handball across to the Mallee Park player, and he'll have to punch it. He's missed. He was too far behind, and that's good football there by Mallee Park. Miller again. Feints the handball, but unfortunately doesn't come off. Well, one of the worst kicks of the day, and it's a wobbly punt kick that over the top and hooked around by another one of the Millers. Clawson in the back pocket, coming into this game back there. Sampson, and Clawson was pulled off the ball there, and he's got the free kick in the back pocket.
Yes, well, chooses to kick the ball to the centre of the ground, Doug, which I question a little bit. There's the spoil from Nash over Veldhuizen. 35 there is Heinz Burgoyne. Gets the left-legged chip away over the head of players, but offline it goes, and one behind. I think that's the first score to Mallee Park this quarter, and I think their confidence might be rocked a little bit, and perhaps South have a chance here at this point of the game. Nice kick out by Neighbour. Plenty of South big fellas up there. Looks like Kenny, by gee, he's come into the game, Doug. Chip over to McLaughlin at centre. He's loose. Long kick into half forward. The South players are behind though. Here's Spackman. Gets the left leg kick away. It's a pressure one. Thorpe reads the ball beautifully, and the left-legged full forward reading the play very well. Although he's on a bit of an angle there, he's still got an ideal chance to put South right back in this grand final.
That's right, they definitely need this one. Thorpe lining up. It looks good off the boot. No, it's a point. Well, Des Kenny was the fellow that set South alight, and that's the second time this quarter. Good handball there in the back line. Up to Lenny O'Gorman, and Lenny O'Gorman to McLaughlin, and McLaughlin up to Thorpe, and that goal, that had been a goal. It'd only be 3 goals behind. Mallee Park clear from the back line. Misread by Kenny there, across to Mundy. Mundy feints the handball, still got possession of the ball, runs around O'Gorman, which wouldn't be too hard to do. Aims the ball up across to Kobe. Kobe looked at the player coming through, and Robinson is tackled without the ball and will be paid the free kick. Well, Snowy Robinson hasn't let the team down, and this game. He's played quite well since he come on, and he'll play A grade. There's no doubt about that. Spackman with the ball. Spackman aims up towards Thorpe. Thorpe in front, punched away by the fullback from Mallee Park, across to Richards. Richards with the possession of the ball, flicks out the handball. Good football there.
Yes, here come Mallee Park. Continuers, I think, the chips the half forward. Spoilt there by Veldhuizen, but Mallee Park with the possession again. They're starting to get mobile again. And yes, they've drawn the South defenders under the play. And I think it's Betts, is it, Doug, that's got the kick here. And, oh, there's the chip over to David Nash, and a bit of loose checking there. Not the fault of Parthenis. I think his man's still out here loose on the forward flank, but somebody obviously hasn't been coming down the ground. It's often the lament of defenders, Doug. But there's the kick by Nash. That's straight through the middle, and a good steadier there for the Parks.
Well, that was the fault of the ruckman and the ruck roses not coming down the ground, and it's quite often that the backmen cop all the flack and all the criticism when they're trying to cover up players when there are players coming down the ground. And Mallee Park are notorious for that. They love to kick the goals. They love to be around the scene, and bad football there by the Rucks and Ruck Rovers there. Back at the centre bounce, South still trailing 5 goals behind, and that's a big effort to get up from here, but good teams will show a bit of character and they won't give up. McLaughlin, centre half back, fumbles the ball. Kobe picks it up, pops a little pass across to, I'd say without looking, it's one of the Millers. Bad football there by Mulger. He knows enough to get his body behind the ball, and a silly free kick play there. And well, it's not 15 metres, but it's about 8, and that puts him really within kicking distance.
Well, this fella is a bit of a sportsman, Doug, because he's the lad that bowls swingers for the Lincoln South Cricket Club, and yes, he's certainly got a bit of sporting abilities. He pops that one straight through the middle, and I think that's just about the sealer for the premiership for the Mallee Park lads in this seconds.
Well, the runner is out again to South to try and install a bit of enthusiasm, and perhaps a couple of changes may be made here. Snow Robertson appears to be... No, he's not going into the centre. He's coming back onto the wing. Mulger's coming off, and maybe he's been disciplined for that bad fumble there, and back onto the field goes Robbie Johns. And Robbie Johns has been around a long time. I can remember quite clearly him playing in under 17s, and they call him narrow, and he is quite narrow, because when I was coaching I used to have to stand him secretly in the forward pocket, and quite often he used to hide behind the point post and just step out now and then and pick up the ball and perhaps pop through a couple of goals for us. Veldhuizen again. Well, he's kicked extremely well all day, Peter, and up towards the forward flank, picked up by the Mallee Park player, across to Kobe. Williams with the run of the ball, soxes it off the ground. Well, he's in trouble if it doesn't set up for him, and he's chosen to either stumble or soccer it off the ground again, and it just bounces inside the line. He was under enormous pressure there with 2 or 3 Mallee Park players chasing him. The ball thrown in, Bates going for the tap, across to Visic. Visic flicks it on, picked up by Betts. Betts with a short kick, well punched there by Doldick. He comes through like a Bondi tram. Good football, up to Spackman, over the top. Oh, and a good flick there by Spackman, and he's still in there. Spackman chases, tackles, and it's flicked out of bounds in front of the bar there. I'll tell you what, that bar's pretty crowded up there too, Peter.
Yes, there's a good crowd and a good atmosphere building up here, Doug. It's a little bit of a pity that this game wasn't a little bit closer, but of course the big A-grade clash coming up here shortly between Tasmans and Bostons, 2 newcomers in recent times to A-grade premiership contests. Here's Brian Doldig, who apart from perhaps 1 or 2 minor... Well, there's another minor blemish, but... and Heinz Burgoyne it is, chipping it away, and I think that's Richard Sambo there with the hamstring heavily bandaged, and there's the left-legged kick. Now that, in my opinion, that would have been a shepherd against Jeff Neighbour. He was, Nash blocked his approach there to spoil, and I think umpires should watch out for that thing a little bit more. But anyhow, no denying the Mallee Park boys with their style of play, and here's the shot by Miller. That looks, the goal umpire doesn't move, straight over his head, and that's the nail in the coffin, Doug, I'm afraid. 18 goals, 12 Mallee Park, 12 goals, 7 to Lincoln South.
Well, I tend to agree with you there, Peter. Yes, we're a little bit stiff there. We could have been paid that free kick, but It looks like the Mallee Park boys have stolen this game away from South, particularly from the first quarter, and now leading 18-12 to 12 goals 7. Perhaps, Peter, we might take this opportunity to say that if Mallee Park happen to get hold of this tape and choose to watch it, we do apologise to any of the players out there playing for Mallee Park who we have called incorrectly or misplaced them or misread them, but not knowing all the boys, we apologise to you, and if you get hold of it, we hope you enjoy it, and we congratulate you on the way you've played. The ball now in the centre square, picked up by the Mallee Park player, across to Kobe. He's been one of their better players, and his kick, short kick, cross to another Mallee Park player, and I'd say that's a Miller, and there's no doubt about it. The Mallee Park players can kick the ball short and accurate, whereas the South players seem to fail. But, well, that's a magic goal. You don't get any better than that on the big world of sport. And a screwy. Not too many of them left around, and his goal on the board sees Mallee Park leading 19-12 to 12-7, and they'll kick their 20, and whenever you're playing Mallee Park, you have to kick at least 20 goals to beat them.
Yes, well, it certainly was a prodigious goal there, Doug, all of 60 metres, and I think as soon as it had left the boot, you could tell that one was going to be a goal. A real tremendous effort. Back at the centre square. Kenny the tap, over to Robinson. Loses balance. Kenny backs up, unable to get the ball away, however. Robinson knocks forward, but it's all Mallee Park at this stage, and it's Kobe again, I think. By gee, he's kicked his leg off today. Parthenis in front on this occasion, but takes his eye off the ball. Anyhow, there's the knock on, and Miller it is, Peel it was, who let the Mallee Park team down a bit there with that shot. He wasn't under that much pressure, and 1 point only the result. There's a nice kick out by Neighbour, and O'Gorman fighting his way to front in real Malcolm Blight style, and he's got the free for over the shoulder. Here's Clark playing on. Oh, he's propped at the wrong time. Caught holding the ball, but play goes on. Robinson on his right leg, and that's a handy little pass there to Bates, and here's the loose man set up. Clausen, I think it is, Veldhuizen kicks the ball forward, and Thorpe using his marking strength there. Still too far out to score, but he has to wait a little while for the South forwards to find position. Oh, he's got onto that well, but hooked it a little bit, and 1 point only the result. 12 goals 8 Lincoln South. They trail Mallee Park 19 goals 13.
That's Thorpe's second point for the quarter, and 2 goals would have been a great lift, but a prodigious screw punt by the Mallee Park fullback out to the centre. Kenny running like a greyhound there, chases the ball. Doldick, centre half back, picks the ball up over to O'Gorman. O'Gorman across to Lee Clark. Clark, well, you saw it in front of your screen. That's a 15-metre penalty for sure, but maybe at this stage they can afford to give the professional free kick. Clark's short kick over to Robinson. Robinson within kicking distance here. He's played quite well since he came on. Still an under-17 player. Crash helmet on. A short pass. Good pass there to Thorpe, and he showed a lot of promise, this lad, and I got a lot of time for Robinson, and I know that he can play A-grade football. Thorpe, 30 metres out, having his third shot for the quarter, which, lining up, pops his kick away, and that's the goal. Brings South back into closeness again. Still 7 goals behind, but good football there by Robinson. He aimed well. He was probably within kicking distance himself, and I feel sure he would have given it a great big lift. Chose to kick to Thorpe on a lead, and he's popped it through for another goal. Mallee Park still in charge of this game.
Yes, well, I don't think I'd want to be the comedian up at Lincoln South Club Rooms tonight, Doug, but anyway, play goes on. There's the kick forward by Bates. Robinson again in front, fighting hard. There's the handball over the pack by Clark. Knocked out to O'Gorman there well by Robbie Johns. Tries the one evasion too many. And I think Kevin Harris might have got through that pack, Doug, but Lenny's legs no doubt feeling the age a little bit. And Mallee Park coming out of defence with a handball. They kick it away to Smith, it is. It's a wobbly screw punt forward. Bradley Miller in front. Sport by Sampson. Doldig over the ball. Should have got the free kick. Here's the opportunity for Parthenis. He's thrown the ball out in front of him instead of doing something positive. Knockout, trying to knock it out the pack. Smith, he's been quiet. Over to Sampson, the hurried kick out. And Brian Doldig, eyes on the ball as usual, has pulled it in. He's been one of the better players for South, Doug. Kicks it up to looking for Kenny. And there's a good mark by the big ruckman. And a little bit of unfair treatment on the side. Tries to get the game moving with a handball, but it's come unstuck. Bates handballs away. Here's Spackman. I don't think his fitness is right up to the level it should be. And Kenny again with the hand pass, however. Fletcher. Good knock away by Smith. Narrow goes for the shirt front and misses. Fletcher, a long kick forward. Here's Thorpe fighting hard, but a beautiful pressure mark there by the Mallee Park fullback. D. Kelly. Ned Kelly has done it well. There's the back pocket player dropping into the space. Roger Rigney kicks the ball forward, and that looks like W. Miller. Billy Miller, the opening bowler for the South Cricket Club. But it looks like the ball has gone over the boundary line at centre wing. And only about 10 minutes left in this grand final, Doug, and unfortunately you'd have to say it's all over.
Yes, at this stage the writing is on the wall. Mallee Park completely in charge of this game and steaming towards the goals again. Over to Sambo, props, left leg, holds the ball in the air, pops the ball up in the air, and Neighbour misjudged that, and also Nash and Feldeisen taps the ball out and appealed for a kick in the full there, and that's been paid too. Ball kicked back to the half-back line. Up goes 41 is a Miller. Bates again. Does some good work, Bates. Very clever footballer. Doesn't waste a kick, really. Kick up towards Visic. Visic marks the ball up there, plays on quickly. Has dropped out of it since the first quarter, and a good kick up towards Thorpe. Thorpe misjudged that mark, followed through by Bates, misses. Thorpe again. Mallee Park relieve the pressure with a wobbly kick out there to Visic. Visic with a long kick now, up towards the square. Looks good. Goal umpire signals hit the post. Good kick there by Visic from that angle. Could have quite easily been a goal there. Mallee Park are kicked onto the windward side now, and the player running around the boundary aims towards Doldig. Doldig's been a bit of a strength back here in the back line. I think he's played better since he came out to centre half back. His kick finds Lenny. Lenny with a left leg kick up towards Robinson. Robinson called out, and Bates. Bates 45 metres out. He'll kick this, there's no doubt about that. He'll pop it through. He's a good kick, very straight too. But if you notice, there's not too many big fellas in that square. Well, he's let me down, and he has kicked it, but it's been a point. 19-13 Mallee Park, leading South 13-9. 13-10. Short kick by the Mallee Park fullback. Bit of fancy business there, and a little handball across. Wobbly punt up to the wing finds Lenny O'Gorman. Lenny with a short kick across to Lee Clark, who plays on, props, handballs across to Kenny. Kenny hooks towards the goals, and that looks pretty good off the boot, Peter, and that's good football there by Lenny O'Gorman, Lee Clark and Kenny, and it's a pity that they couldn't have played like this in the second quarter, kicking into that slight breeze when Mallee Park got right back into the game, and good football there, and you can see why Lenny O'Gorman won the medal. There's no doubt there's a class about him. He's got it, and good luck to you, Len.
There's the tap out by Kenny, gives Bates the opportunity at centre square. Oh, only went to ground. Yes, that definitely was holding the ball because he simply ducked the head and stopped. And that just wasn't positive enough by that player. And no, I don't think either side are too interested in getting on with the game at this stage. Anyway, there's the chip pass over to Mundy. Not a lot of this fella, Doug, but he's done it well in the ruck. Plenty of spring in the legs, a bit of a soapy cantilla. There's Nash out in front, but Neighbour does it well. The old gamer pile has pulled in one, and down the centre of the ground looking for Doldig. He fights his way to the front, but over the top is Fletcher, and he'll have to hurry up. He looks a bit slow, a bit like a camel race across the Sahara. But there's Spackman the opportunity, but well done there by the Mallee Park defence, and they come away quite easily. Chip it across, and there's racing Ronnie Nash. Look at those white legs. He's got the ball in the centre, gets the kick forward to half forward, and over the top of the Parthenis. Neighbour kicks to half back. Plenty of south there, but I think, oh yes, it's still in play. There's the handball out. Williams, I think it is, or is it Clausen? Off the ground. That wasn't very good value. Only Mallee Park's further upfield. Gets another chance and does exactly the same. And into the centre of the ground now, and it looks like all Parks are. There's another fumble. It's a comedy of errors there at the moment. Here they come. I think it's Bilney. Met high by Johns, but Sambo now the opportunity for Mallee Park. Over we go. This is Kobe again. Yes. But tackled. Play goes on. There's Miller. Handball's over. Got the loose man. This is this is Bundy, the ruckman. Kicks the ball high. Plenty of south defenders. Parthenis comes across, but doesn't complete the mark, and should have once he got through the pack. Sampson clears with the left leg. Nobody terribly interested in that one. Here's Robbie Johns. No support. Easily taken off that player. And Miller kicks the ball to the goal square. A tap from one player to the other. The scissor kick over the head. And yes, my goodness, that's a goal. Well, I didn't think that one went through, but there's no doubt about it. Once they're well in front, they can try these fancy things, and there's nothing wrong with the skills there of the Mallee Park players, and a very, very spectacular goal, just to put the icing on the cake for the Mallee Park seconds.
That was a real Morris Rioli kick over the top of the head, right through the middle, and that's the ability of footballers when they're on top. They'll do the clever things, and well done there. 2013, well, we predicted they'll get 20 goals, and they've got them. 20 goal 13 to 14 goal 10. Robertson with a thump out towards a Mallee Park player who fails to complete the kick. Visic off the ground. Actually, he's probably had more kicks off the ground than what he's had normal. Bit of a fumble up there by the Mallee Park player. Aims towards the wing. Up goes Robinson. He looked like he was going to mark that right from the start, and eyes on the ball, and I'd put him amongst the best players at this stage. A bad handball there, over towards Gorman and Johns, fumbling for the ball. Handball by Johns, up to Williams. Oh, that was a clever kick around the body, wasn't it? Right across goals. Nash and Clark. Well, I'll back Lee Clark at this stage. It's going towards the boundary. He's right behind him at this stage, and Ronnie Nash in front. Good. And the ball is forced out of bounds over there on the eastern side of the oval. Well, a minute or two to go, Peter. Perhaps we'll reflect back on our better players. And for South, I'd say my best players would be Veldhuizen on the back flank, Doldig fullback and centre half back, Robinson on the wing, played well when he came on, Visic in the ruck. Saw a little bit of McLaughlin, saw some of Clark. Bates on the ball and in the forward line, and perhaps Peter, you knowing most of the Mallee Park boys because you've probably been around a bit longer than I have, perhaps you could run through them.
Well, I certainly, had I been out in the field, Doug, I might have had the opportunity to run through a couple of them, but that wasn't to be. But yeah, well, no doubt that Kobe was the best man on the ground, and as far as plenty of Millers in the forward line, I noticed. Mundy in the ruck did tremendously well. And Mickey Bilney and Heinz Burgoyne showed a little bit of class on occasions. Little Betts did plenty of work. Richard Sambo showed his class. But all in all, far too good, the Mallee Park boys. They deserved their win. They've won at 20 goals 13 to South's 14 goals 10. So a convincing victory. Congratulations to them. South boys just weren't up to their class. and no doubt about the winner, Doug.
I say full credit to the South footballers. They fought it out in the end, did not give up, and great team, great display by both teams. No spite in the game whatsoever, played in good spirit, and congratulations to Mallee Park.